oh, what a legend this guy is. If we had intro music, if we had the rights to this, I'd be singing ba-da-dam, 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 bam-bam-da-dam, bam-dam-da-da-dam, bam-dam-da. This guy is an absolute mensch. He's an absolute talent. He's one half of Chase and Status. We're going to get clarification on that in a moment. They just won the award for Producer of the Year at the Brit Awards. Extremely prestigious award. They've been doing their thing for well over 20 years. They are the leaders, the faces of drum and bass over in the UK, coming over to America for a tour. They're in Brooklyn on Friday. They were just in Miami. What a legend this guy is. And most importantly, a massive, massive, massive MMA fan. He is Chase of Chase and Status. He is the one and only Saul Milton. He's joining us in studio now. Is he here? Is he finally here? My good friend. There he is. The man. How's it going?
Yeah, very well, man.
It's great to have you.
Brother. Good to meet.
Good to meet as well. I feel like we know each other.
Indeed, man.
Send each other voice notes and whatnot. But this is fun.
Wow, thank you for having me, man. Yeah, I'm very good, man. Very good. How surreal for me. Yeah, mad.
Welcome.
Thank you, man. Yeah, amazing. Beautiful place. Incredible. Forest, good evening.
Yeah, shout out. You're a Liverpool guy, huh?
Yeah. My wife and her family are staunch Reds.
Okay. And when you say
Liverpool.
Reds, to me, is Forest.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but in Liverpool, there's red and blue.
Yeah. Wait. So are they Forest fans? Your wife?
Oh no, the Liverpool fans. They're close.
Sorry.
They're staunch, devout Liverpool fans, and I've supported Liverpool forever, but I know nothing in comparison to my wife. So.
Oh, she's a bigger fan than you?
She's a crazy
really
soccer fan. Yeah,
she's watching the games, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, I was pissing around, making beats, smoking, and supposedly fathering the kids. Not really. She's doing much more than me. Yeah. She's the devout. Like,
wow.
She was devastated the other. Like, it was a really sad day in the house the other day with a loss to Man U.
Yeah,
it was a tough time. So yeah, it's deep. It's deep at home.
Okay, well, as you know, we're hardcore Forest fans here.
I do, yeah.
I mean, we've been living and dying with the team for many, many years. But this is incredible for multiple reasons, because you're incredibly talented and you guys are doing amazing things, but you're also a gigantic MMA fan. In fact, I like to do some research, deep dives. I stumbled upon an interview that you did for Brad Pickett's podcast 7 years ago. It was after
him and Brian Lacey. Yeah.
It was after Maymac, so it was like a time capsule.
Yeah.
And you're talking about things like so in depth. And I know that you follow the sport, you're into it, but it was just so cool to see how far back you go. But I would say you probably go even further. Like, when did the fascination? Yeah, get comfortable.
It's hard to say. Like, obviously, I'm a similar age to you, so I've been watching MMA for a long time. But
I still think you're Josh Gross with an English accent. Do you know Josh Gross?
I do know he is, yeah. Thing is, you've only known me since I started wearing these, and I didn't used to wear them.
Okay.
And so, like, 2020, I started wearing glasses, and then you get a bit older and things get very odd. Things get changed. You're wearing glasses, hair's not quite as thick as it was. Now I look like someone else. So, like, it's always a battle to try and kind of look how I used to look a bit. But yeah, Brian Lacey, Brad Pickett, Yeah. That was a podcast back then. They came to my studio.
Yeah.
So I know Nathaniel Wood, the prospect very well. In fact, one of my greatest nights was at Cage Warriors when I think he was defending his belt, and it looked like he was about to lose. He was like in that the one I mean, and it was like we were at the front screaming, and then he pulled it back from the dead. Great refereeing to keep it going longer. Incredible night at the Indigo. Yeah. So I've known those guys for ages, man. Yeah, Brad's obviously an MMA legend and just a lovely guy as well, yeah.
So I'd like to, just for the audience who may, I'll be honest, I'm not a drum and bass guy. I've become more. I'm listening to Liquor and Cigarettes and, Ba-da-da and all that stuff. So I was more of a rap, hip-hop kid growing up.
Well, we do a lot of that as well. We also produce for a lot of artists.
You produce for Rihanna?
We produce for Rihanna. We used to be signed to Rock Nation. We produce for a whole heap of UK artists. And I'll be in the studio after this evening. So
wow.
So as well
with Central C, will you be with him?
Not tonight, but that would be. We'd love to do a track with Central C.
Have you ever?
No, we haven't actually met, but I'm
a big fan of his.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his too. I think Central C on a drum and bass track would be pretty exciting.
That would be incredible.
So fingers crossed we can make that happen.
So for the audience that may not be a fan, you guys are drum and bass, electronic.
Well, yeah, it's all electronic dance music.
Okay.
But yeah, what we make is drum and bass. And I guess over here people would put it in this EDM bracket, but we kind of don't see it in that regards. The EDM kind of sound is like sonically quite different to like where we're from, really. But drum and bass has got a long history. Started off as jungle. Actually started off as hardcore in the late 80s and early 90s, then it became jungle in the early 90s, and as it transpired over time, you know how things go, sound evolves, so on and so forth, and we're at now with it, and it's for me, it's the greatest music there is. It's so ubiquitously British. You know,
I love it.
Everything about it, what we're sampling is such a UK sound, UK centric, and to see it go around the world and see the reception we're getting in America now, and not just us, lots of our peers, people like Andy C and Boo and Headaches, all these kind of guys are absolutely killing it. You know, if you said we're in Miami the other day, it was a big festival called Ultra. And it wasn't just us there. There's all the guys I just mentioned. They were all there, and the scene is really thriving, man. And it's wicked to be over in America. Lots and lots again, man. Definitely.
And you have a show in Brooklyn on Friday.
Yep, it's at the Avant-Garde.
Yes.
Avant-Gardener. And it's sold out. And
what is the experience like if I go? Because to me, you know, I was talking about with the guys on one of the shows. It's like, you know, I'm not a big, you know, as I put it, with the wacky tobacco. You know, I don't partake, but I see these videos and I'm like, these people are having the time of their lives. I don't know if they're on something or something.
Well, they're definitely not just smoking weed, that's for sure. They're
not.
No, they're definitely.
What are they doing? What are they? Why are they so happy? How are they so happy over there?
What in the raves?
Yeah, the vibes. Like, what's going on? Tell me what's happening here.
I mean, we know what's going on without getting into the minutiae. Everyone's, you know,
everyone's just high on life.
Take a little something exciting, and they're inebriated, and then they might feel worse for wear the next day or the day after that, or maybe even the day after that if it's been that good a night. But you know, that is a massive part of rave culture, I guess. Just like the feeling of the night, you know, going, you know, whatever you take, whatever you're going to have on you, that's going to make you enjoy the music more.
These are long shows, right? For you?
Well, we DJ for like 90 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So not too long.
But the whole thing is long, right? Isn't the rave, doesn't it go
they start at like, I don't know, 9, 10 p.m. and they go on till about 5, yeah. So 5
in the morning.
Yes, the people who go to them go there for a long time, yeah. We're a bit old now to start going for our first time, man.
Yeah.
So if you came to one now, you'd be...
Who are you saying we? You're putting me in the same bracket as you?
Well, we're a similar age.
Well, you know.
A little bit younger.
I mean, I feel like I'm young at heart. No, you don't think I can
I'm also young at heart.
Okay.
So, but no, if you come now, you'd see it from a different perspective.
Sure.
But it's not just all about going out and getting mash up, but the music itself is the scene, the drum and bass scene is pretty special, and the people who love it and eat, sleep, and die it, live it basically, are like super hardcore with it. It's got like incredibly passionate following.
Somewhat like MMA, right? Like it's like this niche thing that has kind of exploded now to the point where you guys are winning a Brit Award. Congratulations!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a huge deal, right?
That was odd. Yeah, I mean, we knew we won the award before the actual awards, because there were 2 awards they let you know prior, and that was one of them.
Oh, sick.
And it was a very weird moment being told we'd won it, and I was like, what? Really, my manager said to me, listen, what would you be like, how would you feel if I said you won an award? And I said, oh, I don't give a shit. Trying to act all cool, like, who cares, you know, like, no big deal. And she goes, all right, what if I told you actually had won an award? And I was like, hold on, are you telling me you won a Brit? And she's like, yeah, and for what it was for, and I just kind of like, well, that kind of changes things maybe.
Wow.
I had a brilliant idea to not go and be super cool, like too cool for school, and she was like, you're an idiot, of course we're going.
You thought about not going?
Just like a child, like the 15-year-old in me was like, let's not go. But obviously,
is that a thing?
No, it's just like being a child for a moment.
Okay.
And like being like, wow, you know, I'm not here for awards. But it was actually one of the most incredible moments in the career. Because the Brit is a massive deal. It means a lot. It's chosen by the Brit panels and all the labels. And
would you compare it to a Grammy here in America? Or is it different?
Yes, absolutely. It's on that kind of tier, yeah.
That's huge.
And just for getting it for Best Producer kind of shows like the vastness of what we do. And Will and I have been doing it for a long time, and we never did it for awards or anything else. And when you actually get that award, I kept on the speeches, I kept saying, wow, how surreal, like over and over. But it really was like incredibly surreal to be standing there in front of this room for us making the music that we make. And we're having a really great year at the minute, and we couldn't be more blessed. So
you have this track Baradan, right? Which Baradan is it like you're better? You're like you're better. Okay, that's what. Yeah. Shout out to Dan Hardy, who was wearing the shirt when he was in the studio. Hardy, Veronica Hardy as well. They're huge fans of yours.
Listen, they're great friends of mine. Dan Hardy is a good friend. He actually is someone I would definitely say is a good friend, and he's a really intelligent guy, and it's like a lovely person.
Yeah,
you know? And
salt of the earth. Both of them.
An absolute like vicious maniac when it comes down to fighting. I mean, he breathes his stuff.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it, how I'm obsessed with things as well, and like you can just see like his mind working. It's like incredible, man. He's been a real like inspiring guy to be around, definitely. Yeah. So he came on the show and he was repping the t-shirt.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was great. Yeah.
I was in when I was in Manchester for the Prime card,
Ah, yes.
the one with KSI and whatnot, I watched your Boiler Room set,
yeah.
and I was fascinated. I remember watching it because, and we'll get into some of this. Like I wasn't feeling well, and I was sitting at and we were actually chatting on DM, and so I started watching this video with these kids in back of you.
Yeah.
And this one kid is just like, he is unbelievable, this guy. Like everything, you know what I mean? And so I was just fascinated by this. I remember sending it to my friend and yours, PT Carroll, and I'm like, look at this freaking legend back here. This kid is incredible. Like I was taken by him. And then you guys perform at the Brits, and you invited all the kids from the Discord channel, including this kid as well.
That's exactly it. It was that you know.
That's incredible. We're showing some of it here.
I'd love to take full credit for that, but
that
was Ben from our management, who's a great guy. It was his idea. He was like, listen, you've got to bring these guys in. And the kid behind me, I guess he's on my left, but on our right facing. Yeah. His name's Dom Lemons. And
you know this kid?
We do now, Okay. And also it transpired that he basically was at every single show we ever did, always. And he was always at the front, and he always knew every lyric, all the obscure lyrics that I don't even remember, like every single thing. And there he is, bad man.
Yeah, right there.
There he is. Yeah,
incredible. So how did you like reach out to all these guys?
I guess Ben did it through the Discord.
So there's a Discord channel that's about you guys.
Yeah.
And they invited all the hardcore, the hardest of the hardcore to come out.
All the people dancing there are from the Discord, because obviously, like,
it's amazing.
We wanted to do the performance of the Brits. We wanted to kind of bring a bit of a flavour of what it's actually like at a show. And I guess if you just get like incredible choreographed dancers, you might not really get the real feel. But these are just kids who week in, week out go raving, not just to us, to other people in the scene, and other genres of music as well, from drill to garage to all sorts. And there's nothing more real than just having those guys there. And they loved it. And it was a nice vibe for us, man. And it feels good, you know. It doesn't do much, it's not, how can I put it? It's not much effort from our side, but it does a lot. It makes a big difference to these kids.
And those are your OG fans. Like, those are the...
man. You've got to take care of them. They're the people who love you for good or bad, really.
That clip on your Instagram has 105 million views.
Yes.
That's absurd.
It's gone mad, yeah. And you know how it is, with all that, you get a whole lot of weird insults. But I guess that's how it goes.
This
is
that's
the trappings
of
the numbers.
Yeah, of course.
You know, can't take any of that to heart. But I mean, and the Boiler Room is real weird because it's just, well, it's different for you because you do this like every week, so you can basically look at yourself and be like, oh wow, that's how I look.
Here I am,
every single week. And but when that Boiler Room, because Will and I were supposed to do it together, and it was just a comedy of errors basically. So we were talking on WhatsApp. Sorting out the set, like, I think we should play this tune and that tune. No, what about this and that? And he's like, oh, shit. The plane in front seemed to have crashed. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, he was flying from Ibiza. And he goes, I'm sitting in the plane. Something's happened with the plane on the runway where its nose is like just dipped, and like we evacuated the plane. I'm like, well, you're not going to make Boiler Room? He goes, no, of course, it'll be fine. 7 hours later, he's like,
wow.
We're now kind of, we're trying to do anything to get back, basically, because doing a Boiler Room was a big deal. It was a really big deal. Actually.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't really understand the gravity of it beforehand, which I think kind of
Would
helped.
you compare it to like Tiny Desk here in America?
Yeah,
Tiny
that's
Desk.
a really good comparison.
Okay.
Yeah. And there have been some really legendary Boiler Room moments.
Right.
The Fred Again one was massive, and also super cool for the things he was doing and playing new tracks. And the Boiler Room's experience is you're really close with the fans. You know, they can even touch you, which, as my tour manager who's sitting in the control room can attest to, is my worst thing of all time. My worst nightmare, being close to me, touching me. I need some, you know, it's my...
Why?
I'm a bit anxious and, I'm just...
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you a germaphobe too?
I'm not a germaphobe, but because I have two massive dogs and I'm always just rolling around in filth, I guess, in that regards. But no, I'm very, like,
just... give you
very
your
OCD
space.
about things. I need to have things on a certain way, the exact same way each time. Like, I'm very particular. And so actually I was like, this is going to be a nightmare because someone's going to be touching my shoulder, someone's going to be like, yes, mate. Like, God, what's going on? Like, literally hell on earth, yeah. And I was like, it's okay, Will be there. So for half the time, I can just shrug off and he'll be doing his thing. And anyway, he couldn't make it. And we tried ridiculous things like get a private jet, and they said, listen, there's no point getting a private jet because as soon as the runway opens, there's only one runway in Ibiza.
Oh my God.
As it opens, all the commercial flights got to go, so we'll get pushed to the back, just waste your money. So we thought, oh God, thank God we didn't waste all of that money. And then Will found, at the last minute, I think it was Ryanair EasyJet flight back to Gatwick that got him in at like 1:45 a.m. We're supposed to go on at 2. We put the set back until 3, and we had the thing which is like, look, if he arrives within the first 15 minutes of the set, then we'll jump on. But if he's going to get there too late, then obviously he can't make it. So basically, as he got into Gatwick, I just started playing. There was potentially hope he could get there in time. And then just typical like airlines, they had a problem. This is you can't even believe this. They had a problem getting when they open the doors and the stairs, the jetty.
Oh, geez.
They had a 25 minutes late for the jetty, and that meant by the time he'd got there, it would have been 10 minutes after the finish. So he basically just waited and flew straight back. Horrific night for Will, so I'm sad he had to go through that. But so then it also ends up being me doing the boiler room, and that also ends up being just an hour of looking at myself thinking, God, it's the most, for me, it's a strange experience. Mm-hmm. It was a great night, it was a wicked night, and it's done wonders, and people have seen like what drum bass is for. People like yourself, you can now experience it, see it differently and understand
I love it
a bit more. But yeah, it's definitely quite disconcerting just you seeing all of your, your how can I put it? Your tics, all the things that you can see you do all the time, idiosyncrasies, non-stop.
And so I'm curious because like I've never done DJ stuff, anything like that. Typically, correct me if I'm wrong, it's usually one person. You guys are a duo.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, the duo...
And is that rare?
No, there's quite a lot of duos.
There are, okay.
Lots of them, but what kind of signifies us as being a duo is literally the and between our names. And other groups, like, I can't think of any off my head now, that's how it goes. There are loads of groups who are duos, Basement Jacks, Chemical Brothers. I guess the name in the Chemical Brothers gives it away in the name, right. I guess. But lots of them who you wouldn't necessarily know are so-and-so and so-and-so. Because when we Will first started, it was Chase versus Status. I wanted to be better than you, he wanted to be better than me. And then we started making music and that didn't make sense, so we just kind of put an and in between us, which is the brilliance of our name.
I love it.
Wow, it's just a ridiculous name.
And Chase is just like your tag name, right? From back in the day.
Yeah, Will was DJ Status when we met, and I was DJ Chase.
And why Chase?
No reason whatsoever, just how it looked cool writing it, C-H-A-S-E.
And so some of the fans have said, because I said Chase and Status.
Well, listen, obviously, back home it's Status.
Yeah, but is that wrong to say Status?
It's just basically what makes sense in the country or the region.
Right.
So if you say Status, then that's how it's said here, But there's one thing I don't mess with, and that's, everyone gets it wrong all the time, is the pronouncing of my name, Saul.
Saul.
Correct, yeah. Americans get it spot on, yeah. But for years, I've been called Saul, Sue, Cyril.
Saul.
That can run.
Saul's cool.
That can
like
run.
Canelo?
Because listen, the Spaniards, they say that's how they say it.
Yeah,
the Mexicans, that's how they say it. That's cool. But you can't just like lose half the letters and change it to Saul.
Yeah.
That's like heartbreaking for me.
My explanation was like, you guys say schedule, I say schedule.
What's the schedule? No, I say schedule.
You say, oh damn! I've talked to some.
Out of all the ones you could use, that's one of the weaker ones. But
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I say organization. My colleagues here say organization.
Yep, I understand. Yeah.
I say against. They say against.
You got more of a European twang because you're Canadian. Though.
Yeah, but also I'm like sort of like quasi-Brit at this point.
I understand. Yeah.
They kind of love me over there. Okay, so going back to that, so you have the fans go. You guys play. You win the award. Have you already felt that there has been a trickle-down effect now in terms of your status? You guys have been around for 20 years, 20 plus years at this point, together as a duo. It's incredible, but do you feel like 21. This has given you like a whole new fresh coat of paint on the career?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, to be fair, we've had a fantastic career and we're very blessed and very lucky to do what we do for a living. We love doing what we do for a living. If we weren't making a penny, we'd still be doing it. It's all we know, so we're super blessed. And we've had a great career, man. It's been a great career. And when Badadan came out and the explosion that caused, actually, and it's not just us, it's Boo and Ira and Trigger and Flowdown on the record, and Takura, all made this great record. And when that, and then Liquor and Cigarettes, and then our album, Too Rough, came out, things have gone... Sorry, Rob. Things have gone, and we can visibly see it, and especially over here.
Amazing.
And there's been, on socials and numbers and all that interactions, absolutely, without a doubt. And like I said, with that, you get the good and the bad. But yes, it's definitely taken an upturn, and I could give the same kind of advice to people all the time. They're probably like, you old bastard, but it's like, when you get that moment and it's there, go for it. don't mess around. Don't like take your foot off the gas and like say, well, cool, we're going to like think of the next move. Just keep going. And let's not suddenly completely change what we're doing. Hey, now we're going to suddenly do this. It's like, no. Let's keep to this. All we're doing is what we just do. And it happens to be working brilliantly. And so let's just carry on and not take our foot off, basically. And so it's very busy for us. So I'm here with you today, which is fantastic. And then tomorrow's studio. Friday, we've got a show in Brooklyn. And then Saturday, we got a little something that I can't really chat about right now that's going to be in New York as well. And then Saturday night, fly to Holland, festival on Sunday. And then we, Will and I fly, where do we go? Oh, I go to Denver and Atlanta, then Coachella.
Are you going from New York to Holland back to America?
Yeah, Holland, then home for literally a few days.
Okay.
Then to Denver, Atlanta, Coachella, and then we fly to Australia and New Zealand for 2 weeks.
Is this hard? You have a daughter, right?
2 daughters.
Two daughters, yeah.
And Will's got 3 kids. He's got 2 daughters and a son.
Is this tough?
It's tough. It's more tough for my wife than me because I'm just pissing around doing this. And she has all the responsibility of, you know, everything.
Yeah.
Taking the kids to school, picking them up, feeding them, dressing them, the dogs.
Oh, jeez.
You know, like feeding them, cleaning one of the dog's eyes all the time, like, you know, things that we always do, you know.
Yeah.
Things that you do as a family together. And I'm like, well, I'm going to bugger off to America and like do things that I've, like bucket list things for me, like come on this incredible show and you can sit in the pissing rain in London. It's kind of, it's difficult now.
You feel guilty?
Yeah, of course.
How do you deal with that?
It's hard.
Does she make you feel guilty?
No, never.
Okay.
No.
Well, now you know that you've got a good one. You don't need to hear that from me.
She's incredible. Yeah. Like I'm, you know, if you've known me for more than half an hour, you'd know that I'm hard work and she's a saint.
Okay.
So it's not going to be easy being with people who are away so much. You know, I will always, and Will and I will always pretty much do everything for chasing status, like what's best for us. You know, like always. And it's been the priority for my whole life. And then you have things that the new priorities, families, and it's like the thing that we love makes the other things that we love survive and live. So it's all part of it. So listen, these are the what's of work. You know, these are problems that are just not really worth talking about in that regards.
No, I understand.
But so like they're not like real problems like people have. But of course, you know, in terms of time management, like I get to spend a lot more of my time just selfishly on me, because that's what the nature of this, you know, I'm here now in America, not with them, and my wife has to do all that. So it's tough in that regard, but it's also the greatest, for me, the greatest job in the world, you know, and hopefully I get to provide a life for them where we're happy and safe and healthy.
Have you guys ever been close to breaking up? Not you and your wife, you and Status.
Oh,
Status.
No, not at all, actually. We had like a row a few years ago that wasn't great, but like, no, we're actually like, what's the word? We've like fine wine, we've matured nicely. And we're on the same page when it comes, I think we'd have split up if we weren't on the same page when it comes to music, because like, we're kind of like chalk and cheesy. I'm here with like all the loud, gaudy jewelry, and he's very like slick and laid, you know. He's laid back and I'm like, you know, super bipolar in that regard. In comparison to him, he's calm and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
But when rather than smooth, him and I, and he's probably a bit more like mature than me. I'm still doing the same things I was doing 20 years ago that I find fun. But when it comes down to what we do music-wise, we're on exactly the same page.
Okay.
And there's never a time where he's like, this is amazing, and I'm like, oh, it's terrible, or vice versa. And the one kind of rule we live by in terms of our own music for ourselves, and it doesn't mean it has to be the same for making music for someone else, because that's about what that person wants. I might not really love what we're doing if you want me to write a tune for you, but if you love it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'll make it the best it can be. But for us, we never compromise. So it's never like, oh, I'm not really feeling it, but let's go with it. Because then if it flops, I'd say, I told you. And then that just leads to bad vibes and just childish rubbish.
Yeah.
So we'll always win or lose, same page. So if we win together, we win together. It's high fives and fist bumps. And if we lose together, it's like commiserations and like shoulder squeezes. You know, so it's all in it all together either way, basically. And I think that's what 100% kept us together as a duo for so long, because that is odd. That is quite rare,
right,
being together for so long.
Yeah.
You know, and literally just because we're on the same page when it comes to the music, I think.
Tyson Fury walked out
He did, yeah.
to Baradan when he fought Francis Ngannou. How did that come together? Because you kind of modified, and we're showing some of it here. You modified the song from like it was a remix with some of.
Yeah. So basically, on that track, it's done with another great artist called Boo, a young kid from Manchester, and it's also got our frontman Ira on there, who basically wrote the hook from the start, the Baladan, the first bit you hear, and then on the drop, on the first bit, you get Trigger and then Flowdown and Takura. And so Boo called us and said, yo, actually, I'm not going to do the accent on here.
Okay.
I do, not bad Manc accent, but I'm not doing it now. And he said, listen, bruv, Tyson Fury might walk out to Baladan. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, listen, we've got someone there right now. He's got the tune. He's going to play it to man, see what happens. I said, bruv, you mad? Crazy. And then literally minutes later, he sent me a clip, and it wasn't the walkout. It was the day before when they were doing the open workouts.
Oh yeah. They were playing it.
Yeah, but it was playing it on like loop.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? He's playing on loop.
That's the first time he's ever played any of your music.
Yeah. I'd never seen it like this. And then they were like, what the hell? And then he was like, yeah. This, one of our guys, one of his mates is down there, and he gave someone on Tyson's team the song, the CD or whatever. I was like, this is mad. And then we got a message from another well-known DJ in the UK called Majestic, and he was like, bruv, what are you saying about Baladan for Tyson? I was like, oh, was it you? He goes, yeah, I'm Tyson's like DJ. I basically play all of his music.
Oh, wow.
I go, amazing, thank you so much, man. What I thought? He goes, no, I loved it. And, you know, it's Battle of the Baddest, and it makes so much sense. I'm like, okay, sick. I said, oh, listen, what are you saying to playing it for his walkout? He said, oh, bruv, Walkout was sorted out ages ago, man. He's got like a 3-tier. Do you know how it is?
Yeah.
Come out to one thing.
Pretty Woman,
Yeah. He's got his all Twitter. He's got a next flex in there for this with Francis. And I was like, oh, say no more, man. All good. And we were watching it. And sorry, before that, he said, the same day of it, he hit me up and said, you know what? Change of plan. Can you get me a dub of it? I was like, no problem. So I called Boo, who got hold of Trigger, and said, look, we need a new version right now. And within minutes, to give them credit, they sent back a version, sent it over to Will, just tidied it up, sent it over to me, back to them, and then he played it like the same evening.
Sick.
And it was like, it was amazing, yeah.
But I'm curious, as a hardcore MMA fan,
tough.
Yeah, right? Because I'm sure you were, as a fan, kind of pulling for Francis, just as you like MMA, Tyson.
Absolutely. I mean, that's another conversation about that whole spectacle. But yeah, well, I think the result, you kind of like, how can I put it? Both parts of me were pleased. Obviously, like, the conversation away from the fight is how well Francis did.
Yeah.
And shocked the world regardless when he floored Tyson. I think, just honestly, man, I think when Tyson got that first clump from Francis, you thought, fucking hell, I've not been hit like this for a while, or maybe ever. That was the same way when Francis got clumped by Anthony straight away, he was like, goodbye, you know, he's gone.
Yeah.
Never felt that before.
Yeah.
You know, and I think maybe Tyson wasn't too privy to actually how hard Francis hits. So he performed above and beyond expectations. So that was great for an MMA fan, and also for the guy who walked out to our track, who we've also been fans of for many years as well, won. So both sides of me, both my conflicting sides got their appeasement, you know. So
other fighters have walked out to your music, right?
Yeah.
Veronica walked out.
Yeah, she came out to Baladan.
Yeah.
And she won.
Yeah.
And she won decisively. It was a great fight. Brendan Loughnane comes out to a song of ours called Time. He has done forever. I've known Brendan for years. He's a lovely, lovely kid. He's not even a kid now. He's like 2 years younger than me. Yeah. Sorry, man. He's a champ. Yeah, he won the. I think I cried that night. Yeah. Amazing night. Amazing. He's an amazing guy. I'm gonna get his name wrong now, but his name's Jordan
Vucinic, yeah.
That's it. He walked
Cage
out.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Amazing walkout.
He walks out to a song of ours called All Goes Wrong, and it's weird to say it's because it's our song, and I don't really love hearing our songs over and over because we play them to death anyway. But man, he's also a crowd favourite, and the electricity when he plays that song and it comes out to it was like really amazing. And like made me kind of fall in love with the song a bit again. So it was really nice to see. But the passion he's got with it, it's nice. And I think Paul Craig used to walk out to a live, and then he lost like 2 in a row and said, "I'm not doing that again." And then I think actually in Cage Warriors time, like way back, Molly came out to a song of ours called End Credits, or something to do with End Credits, to do with her family on a personal one. She used it for something. I think that could be it. Either way, it's a few.
It's a great. How many UFCs have you been to?
Oh man, I kind of haven't missed one in the UK for
Really
8 years. Loads and loads.
Who's your favorite fighter right now? Okay, actually, favorite fighter all time.
It's not a mental question.
Why?
Because it's impossible to answer.
Favorite fighter all time? Who's your guy?
Oh, gee, Willoughby's. I can't. I mean, this is ridiculous. I should have prepped for this. Of all the things I should have pre-thought about, like, he might ask you what fighters you like. Oh man, I mean, like, you know what? This is obvious and super cliched and rinsed out, but the Conor's rise and how he did it and how he said it and how he held himself and the way he spoke things and did them and everything about it was incredible. Yeah. And also just inspiring on level of just like success. Forget the monetary success at the end of it, just like I'm doing, and that's what we like to do. We like to say we're going to do something and then do it, you know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Sure.
It's like, I want to also produce loads of rap and drill for UK artists, doing loads of it. Great, job done, you know what I'm saying? Wanted to do that, you know. Goals, let's achieve them, and then let's have new goals. And that's, you kind of see that in what Conor did, you know.
You were at the Maymac London stop. I
was, yeah. That was crazy.
That was incredible.
To be fair, yeah. Floyd,
you were just sitting there as a fan?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because who sorted it out? The people who saw, I think the
UFC.
Yeah, it was Audie, yeah. He's a great guy.
I know more about your story than you know at this point.
You do, actually, yeah. He's a great guy as well, man. He's
so you were just sitting there just like, that's how hardcore you knew they were rolling in?
I just wanted to see that, man. Just wanted to see Floyd's flawless quality diamonds in real life.
Yes.
To see them like shining.
That's when he touched his head, right? Conor touched his head.
That was, you could feel that in the air. It made my shoulder, doing it now, you could feel it. You could see Floyd was like, no, that didn't go. That was a cheeky move by Conor. But the electricity in that room, and, you know, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend any of Conor's fights.
You've never been?
No, not to one of his, and not to, you know. And to be honest with you, man, I was so invested. Like, the anxiety you feel when you're invested is, like, palpable to nearly being sick. You know, it's so nauseous, you know. It just plays well into my personality.
Sure.
So, like, I mean, I used to put a bit of, well, I'm allowed to, obviously, fighters on. I used to put, like, bets on, you know, every week. Not much, but, like, little accas, because I used to love the sport. Like, I think maybe I had to stop, man, because it's like the anxiety levels that I get is high enough without even having 10 pounds on it. I was like, oh, this is for it. God. You know, and then when you're watching it, like, I was flying back from LA as MVP was making his debut against Kevin Holland. And I've known Michael for years. I went on one of his podcasts many years ago. We spoke in private. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. So I would basically somehow manage to, on the plane Wi-Fi, watch the UFC. So I watched an entire card on the plane coming back from LA, and you know, Michael was fighting Kevin. And the anxiety I felt on that flight, like, you know, dry mouth, so clammy hands, like, and I was confident he was going to win, you know, I genuinely was. But I still felt, you know, like I was about to, you know, the kind of empathy that I feel on that regard is quite through the roof. So
is MMA your favorite sport?
Without a doubt.
There's no other sport that gives you this?
No. I love boxing as well. But yeah, MMA, yeah, I don't know what it is about it, really. I mean, it's everything about it. It's got lots of parallels, I guess, for me with other things in my life, like scenes that I'm into. And there's a crossover as well, like, now I'm getting recognised a bit more, generally. But beforehand, never really got recognised much at all, except when I was at UFC, Cage Warriors, PFL, Bellator, like... That's where they were like, brother! And I was like, okay, there was definite crossover there. Because also, it's an exciting, young, new sport. And you've got lots of people getting into MMA now who are training it, as you know full well, are training MMA from the start. So this new, like, wave of young fighters are unbelievable. You know, like, there's a kid called Dom Wooding on PFL, like, incredible. I'm forgetting loads of names of loads of fighters now. But, and it's just a vibrant, exciting, feels like the times of now, if you will, you know, and with music and everything, if you're not, like, in sync with what's happening now, you're finished. And if I said to you, oh, you know, I do love MMA, I do love Izzy, he's amazing, but it was much better when it was GSP and Chuck Liddell. You're an old git. You're like, you might not necessarily have to love like a Sean McNally or Izzy for everything about them. You know, their kind of swag, you know, their arms, whatever, their clothes and the jewelry, whatever. You might not have to love that, but you have to at least, I mean, I really enjoy it, but you have to at least understand why.
Yeah.
Why it's happening, why it's hot, why they don't look odd, why that's of now. Then you're in a good stead. If you're just thinking everything was better back in the day, you're just old and out of touch. You don't have to love it, but you have to understand it and respect it, you know. Same with music. You don't have to love the brand new shit coming out. But if it was like, oh man, it was much better 30 years ago, then you are washed. Yeah.
And are you staying up to watch all the events? Or
Yeah.
Wow, you're that hardcore.
I'm also a bit of a night owl anyhow.
Sure.
But yeah, so I often come off stage and jump in the car, watch the UFC, which is usually the UFC or on a Saturday night. I mean, there have been times where, you know, I've been playing and the phone's been on there.
I love it.
You know, like, oh God.
Yeah.
You know, like, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I'm not really one of these, like, watching the card the next day. Can't do it.
No.
Can't do that
Can't
shit.
do it. It has to be live.
And, you know, listen, you know, obviously people talk about the quality of a card and this and that. I'll still watch it all from start to finish.
But how do you feel about the Apex? I mean, really? Is it not tough?
Of course. You know.
This is not why we fell in love. As someone who's in crowds and the vibe and the scene, right? It's not
Of course, you know.
If Apex was the thing when you were falling in love with the sport, dare I say you maybe don't fall in love with the sport as much.
Well, you can't recreate that electricity.
Yeah.
What about what's his name? The just now who beat Billy Quarantilla.
Yusuf Salal.
So, yeah. He's like, Vegas, what's good?
Yeah, there's four people there, right? Yeah.
Good, bro. You know, I get it. Of course, that's a bit you know, what's the word? Deflating.
Yes.
Fighters, absolutely. I mean, it just you know, it was fantastic for a period of time when it needed to be. You know, and at that period of time as well, even like doing a closed show to people sitting down was something. You know, the period of time when the Apex was around.
Of course, yes.
What was going on was like, that was how it, you know, and we were super lucky to get to watch sport or get to watch anything at that period of time because no one else was. So in that regard, it was fantastic. And when you first watching the TV and you hear a differently, okay. And then obviously over time now, you can kind of feel it should get back to the heydays. And by the looks of it, I think it, you know, well, this weekend's Atlantic City, isn't it?
Yes.
It's got,
hey, you'll be in town. No, you'll be gone by then, huh?
No, yeah.
A 2-hour drive, but yeah, you said you
I'd definitely made it.
Can Conor return to form?
I mean, the thing about, I mean, I'm older. I'm way older than him, and weirdly, we're having like the biggest moment of our careers.
Yeah.
So age is not like restrictive in that regards, but in terms of like sport and combat sport, forget combat sport, in terms of sport, it absolutely is. And the quote, I think one of your old friends, Chelsea, you don't get better at something by not doing it, you know. I mean, as a fan, I would be very happy with Conor just sailed off into the sunset. Absolutely.
Not fight again?
For me, what he's done, his legacy is done. It's in like, it's good. You're not going to like...
Is part of the reason why you don't want to see maybe a lesser version of him that would affect that legacy? Well,
forget all that. He had the most horrific leg break. Yeah. You had Chris Weidman on Monday, right? And also Anderson Silva as well. And like, I don't even think it's arguable. Chris Weidman's leg break was way worse than Silva's.
Yeah.
If you like watch them back.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have done. Anyhow, it's horrific.
It's gruesome, yeah.
And like, even seeing how he came back against Brad Tavares and like, what did Brad Tavares do? Kick the shit out of his leg. Yeah. So that's painful to watch. And like, I've watched Weidman's career for years, but I wasn't like invested like I said was with Conor. And just that, coming back after an injury like that, man, I mean, it's frightening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you were saying to Chris, the thing that why these guys, you know, and why Conor, if Conor was watching that, he'd say, you're a fool, you don't know what you're talking about, is like, they're not built like that. They're like, that's all good.
Right.
They're like, you could smash your leg to pieces now. He's like, yep, let's go.
Let's go, yeah.
You know, and so in that regard, you never ever kind of understand how one can do that. And like, when people walk away from the sport early, wow, that's also quite incredible to see because that doesn't happen often either. I would love to see Conor come back because he wants to, and I'd also be happy to see him not if he chose not to as well. I mean, for me, his legacy is set in stone. You're not gonna ruin it. Obviously, if he came back now on a third belt and third belt clock,
Then it's,
and that's obviously where he's like, are you
Right.
mad? I can come back and win another belt. And you know, I'm also a big fan of Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. I like what they're doing. And Luke Thomas is, I think, a brilliant mind when it comes to like analysing MMA and just like fights and, you know, the minutiae like that. I think it's a really brilliant mind. And it's not his stat, but it's a stat that's gone around loads about, what's it?
Over 35, yeah.
Only Tyron Woodley has won, and that was beating Darren Till and Wonderboy a long time ago. And Darren at the time arguably should have waited a couple of fights. You know, they might have, you know, a bit early for that at this stage. And I love Darren as well. I think he still has what it takes to be huge in the sport and be a champ. But man, like, if you just look at numbers and figures and things often are correct, and like there's not good odds, man.
Right.
Like, you know, like watching Volkan against Topuria, again, that was a tough one because I love Volk.
Yeah.
And like his rise to ascension to where he is was massively like missed by fans. Because he just slowly like beating shit out of Chad Mendes and smashing up out, you know, what the hell? But doing it like in a way that you'd never seen before. And like beating Max 3 times, and how he did it on the third one was like unbelievable. And it took people until like he nearly beat Islam to be like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
And by that stage, you know, he's had all of those fights.
I think the turning point for him was really Brian Ortega. He almost lost to Brian Ortega, and the people were like, "Holy shit, this guy has a lot of heart. He's got a lot of ball." You know, you remember when he almost got subbed?
Well, he was about that
It's
close
almost
to
like when
passing out.
you almost die, and then people start to respect
Like,
you.
oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's just time. I mean, what's the saying? Father time waits for no one.
Undefeated,
It's undefeated, man. So
let me ask you right now. There's UFC 300 coming up. It's been a hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get it right? Are you okay with it as a hardcore fan? Are you okay with this being the UFC 300 lineup?
I mean, like I said earlier, man, as a hardcore fan, they could have put like the first fight from Friday's fight as the main card. I still watched it.
Yeah.
So I'm biased. I just watch it. I love it. So I'm always going to watch. But in terms of, it's different for us in the UK because we don't fall into this pay-per-view bracket. So I'm not this forking out $70. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
But does it feel big? Does it feel important? Does it feel special?
The card itself, from top to bottom, does.
Okay.
I think the card itself has a massive range of great fights. You know, Cody Garbrandt, Davison
Figueiredo
has the first fight. Wow, what a fight to start with. I personally would rather not see Cody get in straight away with someone with such a hard punch as Davison off the bat. So in terms of on paper, wow, incredible fight. I don't know if that's going to play out as to the fight we think it's going to be. But in terms of the name appeal, I think the whole card's really good, yeah. But obviously, it's a bit of an oversell, under-deliver. You're talking about want to have the greatest main event of all time. And we're having a fight for the main event that, as you said in this show, could have been at 301 in Brazil 4 weeks later or whatever. But I think it's going to be, I'll watch it.
Of course. And there's a talk of a pay-per-view happening in Manchester later on this year. Tommy, our guy, and Leon. Would you go to that one?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I drove up from London to Liverpool to watch Darren and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Oh, wow.
Last time. I think that was the last time they were in the UK that wasn't in London.
Oh, yeah, because of the...
2019.
Is that possible? Is that possible? Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah, that was in Liverpool, which now they don't allow fights there. What's this, Marks and Spencer nonsense?
It's mental, yeah.
This is what I've heard.
You know, and especially now with...
They've had legendary Cage Warriors and UFC there, and they're just saying no.
Yeah, because Paddy sold out the arena there for Cage Warriors years ago, yeah.
Wonderboy won that fight.
Oh, right, in terms of like actually winning the fight. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, he got screwed. Anyway, but we love Darren.
I was super biased either way, and I was like, of course he won, scream my tits off at the front, but...
Did you go with your wife to these?
No.
Did you go with Will?
No.
Does he like MMA?
He doesn't dislike it, but he's not.
But who do you talk like on a Sunday after?
I got a good friend of mine, Nick Finney. He's also my personal trainer, and he is He's a brilliant mind. He's a brilliant mind on MMA as well. So,
But he's not on the road with you, or is he?
No. So actually, my Ira, who's one of the boys on Baladan, he's also crazy into MMA.
Okay. So you have someone to talk to, like, holy shit, did you see that?
Actually, yeah, me and him are like, he'll text me like, yo, you see that? I'm like, of course I saw it. How dare you assume that I've not seen it already? No, and he's, we have good conversations.
You like Leon?
Do I like Leon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leon, one, is a lovely guy. When we did a little campaign for the NHS during COVID and all that, and loads of fighters donned the T-shirts for us. Leon, one of them, Molly, Bisping, some great guys, yeah. I love Leon. I think he's a fucking amazing fighter. And I think he could hold that belt for a while. I would love to see it. I would love to see him get a big pay-per-view fight back home.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
And I'd love to see, I went to Michael Bisping's stand-up show whenever it was. And I know those guys. And I went backstage and we saw Brendan and Tom Aspinall was sitting there. He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tiny. I'm 5'8", so I'm literally like this anyhow, yeah. But just a huge human being, yeah. And he just seemed like super lovely, like super nice.
They're all so great.
And I also think he's an incredible fighter. And I think it was interesting watching him and John at the Arnolds, the interaction between them.
With the hand on the shoulder.
Hand on the shoulder. I think there's like, it's potentially getting like read into lots more than it could have been, but that's the beauty of it. That's the way you keep the story going.
Yeah.
And even if Tom didn't mean to be sizing him up, as in like getting the distance, now that's a story that makes it conversation.
No, I loved it.
And even if John was like, don't do that, get your hands off me, or he's like, I have shoulder surgery, bro, watch out.
Yeah.
There are loads of things that could potentially have been, and like, no face-off. No, I ain't doing a face-off, but I face-off with France. It's just like, I like it. I like all that stuff,
I love this. I love how deep you're into it.
It's fascinating, yeah. I'm like, I'll watch that again. Why? Don't know, but yeah.
By the way, speaking of shirts, Hammersmith FC.
Yeah, they're on their way, man. It's taken a long time to get them made. So I've got you
have they worn them yet?
Yeah, we're wearing them every week.
They wear them every. So what do you mean getting them made to be sold?
No, I'm getting some.
Oh no, I don't mean for that. For me, I'm just talking about this is a huge deal.
God, I look so terrible there.
Well,
thankfully, my trainer has sorted my life out since then. But
look at this.
Yeah, this is a really cool, man. Hammersmith men's and women's team sponsored by us, wearing the kit. Yeah, it's great.
This is a big deal.
I mean, I look like a big blob there, but I mean, bad times. But yeah, this is a really great thing to do. We met the teams, wicked guys, wicked girls, brilliant footballers. And for my daughters as well, to be able to hopefully, come to the games soon and see this kind of stuff and inspire them, to show them that women's sport is incredible as well. And, I look forward to the time in the future where
it's amazing.
they will get the same kind of respect and the levels that the male counterparts get,
But where do they play Hammersmith?
They play. I think it's in. We did a show there actually, man. It's right near my house. I've totally forgotten.
But which town is it in?
Oh, it's London, man. It's right,
it's London.
It's like 15, 20 minutes
yeah. That's
from
what I
my
was
house.
wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, which part?
West London.
West London. Okay.
West London. I mean, also it's great to be in part of like grassroots sports and women's sports as well.
Yeah, of course.
What's amazing about MMA is like, it's maybe the only sport where women really get a super fair shake, and like they've,
Oh, they'll be on the top of the card and no one bats an eye.
Absolutely, and like in terms of like acceptance for differences in it, I think it's actually the community is a bit. Online's a bit fucking filthy, but in terms of the actual sport and the people involved in it, it's all kinds, sexuality and everything. So you had Amanda Nunes, lesbian, kids, champion of the world, best in the world, GOAT.
No one cares.
No one bats an eyelid. Whereas you've got footballers who are like embarrassed to or don't ever say anything what they are until they've quit the game because they're concerned about how it's going to get treated.
Right.
And that's disgusting and disgraceful. So, MMA as a sport, I mean, obviously forget online and communities because I think anything online is just pretty venomous these days, too much vitriol. But in terms of actual acceptance inside the sport, I think it's an incredible thing to see, and it's a great thing to see that women have so much power in it, I mean, I love it. Joanna versus Zhang, unbelievable.
Incredible fight.
To me, that's like Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler level of like, what the hell are we watching here?
Look at this one. Where is he? Where's Robbie, my guy? There he is.
There he
this
is.
guy. Like, that's from that fight.
Incredible,
Remember
yeah.
before this plastic cell, they made these, and it's just like, what can you say about this? These guys are
the fight or the
well, no, not
model?
the like this what this represents. You know what I mean? That's why I always have so much respect and it's like, you know, sometimes I struggle with how the sausage is made and seeing their careers come to an end and they're not left with a lot, and they give us this entertainment, they give us this brain damage, and then it's on to the next. And then for us, it's like, oh, who's fighting next week? And they have to live with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
and how much are they getting paid for it? And that's why when I talk about these things, people think it's like me being a hater. No, this is actually me loving them more. Like, I care about them so much as human beings. And then when I see them retire, like Joanne Wood, you know, never got the belt, but gave us so many great fights. And
She's a lovely girl as well.
Trailblazer, pioneer, and you just want them to be set for life. You want them not to worry. You want them not to work. I don't know. This is me going on a bit of a rant, but
No.
you know, I think we share a similar love, and we actually have a lot in common. It's funny. I say like we're kindred spirits at times. Like I want to write to you, and you're writing to me at the same. This has happened a couple times. When you won the award, I hope you don't mind me asking. You were rocking the Chai necklace, which meant a lot, and it meant a lot because, and here you are up there. You didn't go up there. You didn't make a speech. You didn't say anything about religion or politics. If you know, you know. And that's huge especially for young people, especially during these times, to see someone successful on stage being proud of who they are. Can I ask you why you felt the need to do that, and if there was any sort of backlash afterwards?
I was going to actually wear it today, but I forgot it on my bed.
That's okay.
So
it's okay. That was a bigger stage.
Foolish. Well, you say that. This is also a massive stage, and it's a real honor to be here. And
Thank you.
So why did I wear it? Because I'm super fucking proud of who I am and about being Jewish. And yes, I didn't want to politicize the moment, and I shan't. And the politics conversation is a different conversation. But in terms of just like being proud to be a Jew, I will always be proud to be a Jew. And I will always be proud to show people that our light will shine bright even when it feels like it's getting dark. We're still here, and we're always going to be here. And it means a lot to me and my family, and yeah.
It means a lot to me too, because it's been a dark time.
It has been indeed, you know, it has been indeed. And like I said, the politics conversation is a different conversation that people wish to have. There's always time and space for that. But just on a human level, being Jewish is nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. Like being Muslim, something to be proud of. Being Christian, something to be proud of. Being Sikh, Hindu, being everything, something to be proud of. And I'm very proud to be a Jew and always will.
I feel the exact same way, and I never thought I'd live in a time where people were made to feel ashamed of being Jewish. And that's how I feel. I never thought I would see such open anti-Semitism, such open, it's just okay. It's okay to be hateful towards Jews. Again, people like to say, oh, I'm just talking about this, I'm just talking about this. I hope you understand when you hear us speak that you are hurting us, you are offending us as a people who didn't ask for any of this.
Correct, yeah.
And it's very disheartening. Like when I see, you know, I saw Natan Levy lose, and I saw the comments afterwards, and I understand he's from Israel, and I understand that that's a sensitive subject to a lot of people right now.
Absolutely.
But no one deserves the comments. Just like no one who is from Palestine, no one who's from Iran, no one who's from London, no one deserves this. And for some reason, I don't know why, it is now okay to speak this way about us in particular. And if you speak about other people this way, God forbid. But I don't know, it's just open season now. So to see someone of your stature up there on such a gigantic stage, just rocking that, not saying anything else, but a kid is out there, the 105 million people watching that and see like, wow, that guy's proud. And that's all that's needed. Especially in London, which, let's be honest, it's been a bit of
It's wild, yeah.
a dark time.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I think I thought I had something poignant to say, but I think I just lost it at the last moment.
It's okay. I'm sort of putting you on the spot here.
No.
But it was great, and it really, really meant a lot. And especially, I mean, there's not that many people who are out and about in your position in the public eye wearing that, right? There's not that many people for young people to look up to.
Also, I didn't want to politicize the moment for us, because from Will and I, that was a really important moment. And it wasn't about suddenly trying to, hey, we want to talk about this.
Sure.
And also I find, another thing I just find, I think it's kind of really like, people take those opportunities, those moments to like try and say stuff. But I'm like, how much measured, discerning conversation can you have at 45 to 60 seconds, anxiously mumbling to a crowd? It felt, it would feel a bit more like, I don't know, vacuous, empty. You're not gonna say or get the right thing across whatsoever.
I get it.
So rather than just do something that just would feel, I don't know, misconstrued and disingenuous, I think the statement that I made spoke volumes without having to say anything. And you asked, what was the feedback like? The feedback has actually been pretty fucking good.
Amazing.
Like I said, like you said yourself, that clip has been watched like, I don't know, 120 million times.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so with that, of course there's a rise in horrific comments aimed at me. But most of it is just gibberish, and most of it is probably from not real people. And like I said, the response has been good, and so it should be.
Much love, my friend. So great to have you in studio. I really, really enjoyed this, and very exciting. And I told you I wanted to come to your show, even though you said at the beginning that I'm too old.
No, side of stage, you'll enjoy it. But in the middle of the pit, I'm not sure if that's for you.
And you know what? I can hang. But as I announced on Monday, and as I told you, my sister giving birth means I have to go visit her this weekend. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Fantastic. Yeah.
But I would love to come to one. And Frankie in the back over there wanted
he's
to
coming
come
to the show, 100%.
Yeah, he's all into that stuff.
Get the belly on in case people.
Yeah. Well, we have like a luchador mask for him, just in
okay.
case he's out and about.
Nice and inconspicuous.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no one will notice.
Yeah.
But the next one is in Brooklyn. So if you're in New York, and then you've got a whole load of shows, and it's on your social media, the upcoming shows.
All on social media pages.
And then is it this summer, or did you just do it in, as you say, Ibiza? The 16 weeks. Was that last year?
That was the summer gone.
Crazy.
Yeah,
you got another one this summer there?
We're having conversations about what we're going to do this summer, because it's a lot we're traveling so much at the minute.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's a lot. And we happen to have a good 10, 11 years doing that. And we'll be back on the island. But I'm not sure the plan just yet.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with the upcoming tour.
Wicked,
all the best to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Check out their music. Just type in Chasen Status, excuse me.
Hey, man. Whatever works.
Wherever you may be. And maybe any plans of, Tyson's coming up? Is he...
Hey, that would be, we'll see, man.
That would be something.
That would be super cool, man.
And this time you could be all in on Team Tyson.
Also this time, I mean, have you seen how he looks now?
He looks fantastic.
He looks incredible.
I think he took some of those comments to heart that people were making about his physique, and he's coming back with a vengeance.
Before I go, that circles back to about the boiler room things, and, I was like, I look like pretty bad, yeah. And then, like, someone made this incredible animation of it, of the moment with me and Flowdown, because on the last track, Flowdown wheels it up to Bat It Down VIP, and there's a cool moment between me and him, and it went super viral. And someone did a really cool animation of it, and in it, I'm really fat. And someone also, the fat one. And I was like, whoa. It's gone too far. And it was literally like, right, as well as the fact that I'm killing myself, being way overweight, got to sort it out. So the same way Tyson might have taken some things to heart and then sorted himself out, I'm doing the same. Sometimes, every now and again, you can get 1,000 lovely comments. Then one like, he's fat. It's like, that's the one for me to hone in on for life. So, yeah.
And what do you, because it's hard on the road.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is, and my personal trainer, he's like, I think he would like to put like a disclaimer out. He would not advise the diet that I'm doing, but he'd rather I'm a bit more grown up and sensible with it, but I'm just trying to eat super low. So I'm only having like 900 calories a day, eating in the evening and then training 4 days a week.
Good for you.
So I'm like fasting, basically.
Okay. You okay? You feeling all right?
Feeling great.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm greedy, so gluttony is easy when it comes to food, so I need to step away from it, man, so...
All right, well, keep it up.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Good luck this upcoming stretch, but congratulations on everything you've done. And I mean, it's amazing to see you guys, like, to learn more about your story and to see this success happen 20 years in. Dare I say, Jorge Masvidal-esque.
Absolutely.
Veterans of the game, and then you freaking are now at the top, and who knows where you go from here.
Man. That was an incredible time, yeah.
Yeah.
Great time.
There he is, Saul Milton of Chasing Status. Appreciate him joining us very much. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.